I've always wanted to ask you about artists as well, you know, like back in the old days with Louis and can you tell anything about working with those old guys? Maybe interesting, have things changed from then until now?
Well, yes, yes, they have, but so have conditions.
Yeah.
The state of the business has changed. You know, the people that I refer to that do have to do with the Max Roaches, the Art Blakeleys, the Louis Belsons, the Shelley Manns, the Jack Sperlings, everybody and everything, the Buddy Riches, and whom I all knew personally, because we were all working at the same time, you know, so on and so forth. Then when I had my drum shop, so conditions were different for us. One-nighters were one-nighters, and being on the road was on the road. You didn't play to 50,000 people or 60,000 people or whatever the situation was. Show business was different. I worked all over. I did Las Vegas, I did Broadway, New York, I did Miami, I did San Francisco, and so on and so forth. I played all those places. Had a wonderful time, and there's no place in the world to be than in Las Vegas in 1952 when the syndicate ran Las Vegas, and you had all these pretty girls, and you weren't married, and you didn't have a family. What else can I say? You know, and then come rock and roll. So rock and roll is a social phenomenon. The music business had nothing to do with developing rock and roll. The music industry only supported rock and roll by making the instruments that supported the public demand. And that's always been one part of the industry that I've always said to the industry, hey, look, you're falling asleep because you only want to supply something that's in demand. You don't know how to create a demand. So what has changed is the character of the industry. I wouldn't want to be a musician nowadays. No.
Really?
No. That's not the kind of life that I think one should have after you've spent all the time, energy, and effort trying to learn the damn thing and then doing what you want to do. It's great when you're 18 and when you're 28, and by the time you're 32 or 35, and you have the bad luck of getting married, and then you're trying to buy a house, and you're trying to raise kids, and so on and so forth, forget it. It ain't there, you know. Then, and like I mentioned Mickey Hart. You guys know Mickey Hart, Ringo Starr, so on and so forth. That kind of money. Hey, wait a minute. Duke Ellington and Count Basie couldn't even imagine that kind of money, and it just wasn't there. So and they're a small group that's up there. Phil Collins and so on and so forth, that managed to make a huge amount of money. Never mind, it's not a small amount. It's a pretty good figure. But that didn't exist. Even the biggest stars ever never even got close to that. So yeah, it changed. So what it was then to what it is now, and now it's changing a lot. Now it's not that easy. The ones that are making the most money are the old guys. It's not the new guys. Even the CD is an antique now. You know, what the hell are you going to sell? What are you going to do? Where are you going to go?
Yeah. So Las Vegas in the 50s. That is the time
that's
to
the
be.
place to be.